memories of Istanbul without Xabi Alonso returning. Obviously beat Leverkusen en route to winning the Champions League in 2005. I mean, we all know what they did last season. Absolutely incredible. There's a sort of temptation to think they've dropped off a bit this season. I mean, they have done in terms of victories. They've only won 3 of their last 8, fourth in the Bundesliga. But this is still a team, I think, has only lost 2 of the last 68 competitive games. They're unbeaten in the last 11. As I say, quite a few draws in there. But I think beating them would be sort of another statement for Liverpool to make, because they're still a really good team, aren't they?
Yeah, as you say, that's it. They're not very easy to beat. And you know, they had a really good European record last season. I know it was in the Europa League, but still, you know, Xabi Alonso showed, I think, already that he can manage in Europe and he knows what he's doing there. I think one of the things that's happened to them this season is those kind of 95th minute winners have dried up a little bit. I think they got 20 goals in the 90 plus minutes last season, which is outrageous. But they were, you know, the fact that many of those were winners was showing that they were a team that were putting themselves in position to win games as well, that they were a very, very good side. They just got on that incredible run of belief as well. And, you know, it all came together to have that phenomenal season. But you know, regardless, even if you don't have those goals up in the locker, they are very, very good. And this will be a big test for Liverpool. You know, you think of some of the quality players they've got, and they just set up very, very well by a manager who, again, you know, tactical tweaks during games, knowing about setups, having a good plan, and I'm sure he will have a good plan for getting at Liverpool as well. So it's a really big test, and I think it feels significant for Arne Slot as well. I mean, if there's any Liverpool supporters out there who kind of still doubt that they got the right man this summer in Arne Slot, and you know, maybe some thought, I wish we had got Alonso, then you know, getting a win over him would feel like something important, I think, in terms of just kind of putting that narrative to bed a little bit. So yeah, there's significance there as well. But first and foremost, it's just a difficult game against a really good side who, you know, we think has got an opportunity to go deep in the Champions League this year.
Yeah, I think that's definitely. I don't think Arne Slot's going to read into that narrative at all about him against Alonso, but certainly I think some fans will see it as a test to see, okay, you know, did we get the right man? Should we have gone for Alonso? Should, you know, we have pushed more for Alonso? And also, there's a lot of Leverkusen players who Liverpool have been linked to at various stages with varying degrees of sort of authenticity throughout the years. Do you think Liverpool's hierarchy will be keeping a close eye on a couple of them, or certainly Liverpool fans will? I'm thinking Frimpong has been linked with as being a Gent replacement. Obviously, if anyone's performing well, which pretty much the whole Leverkusen team did last season, they're going to be linked with a move to a slightly bigger club. But there's a lot of players there who have had previous links to Liverpool. Yeah,
I'm particularly interested to see Florian Wirtz up close. Actually, I've, you know, obviously seen him a few times watching on telly and stuff, but to watch him in the flesh will be really, really interesting. I mean, he's one of those that he's so high profile that he's kind of, you wonder whether he'd be out of Liverpool's reach in terms of, you know, they don't tend to go for those players where there's going to be a big bidding war around them. But he, you know, I'm just excited to see him as a player. And similar with Frimpong as well, you know, as you say, touted as a potential Trent replacement. There is maybe a vacancy coming up there, and he's a very, very good player. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing him. But I guess the Liverpool scouts, they'll have probably watched him in the flesh a few times themselves anyway. So maybe don't see this Anfield game as significant. But I guess for us, as supporters and journalists to see that it'll be interesting to see how they get on.
Yeah, sometimes good to see sort of head to head, isn't it, and how they perform in a game against each other. You know, as close a head to head as you can get with teams in different leagues. Okay, in terms of the Champions League in general, Liverpool. I was looking at the Opta stats pre-tournament. I think Opta predicted Liverpool will get 13 points in total throughout the group stage. If they win on Tuesday, they'll only be 1 point short of. So certainly outperforming what Opta was expecting. Still big games to come against Real Madrid, most notably, of course. But the suggestions, the data suggestions, but also that 9 points would be enough to finish in that top 24. Liverpool already at that tally, and well on course to finish in the top 8. So still, obviously, a lot of the new format. There's a lot of things to be, you know, we don't know how accurate those projections are, but obviously 3 wins from 3 couldn't have made a more perfect start. And you're getting to that stage now where if they beat Leverkusen, they can start looking at the rest of the Champions League with a slightly less importance.
Yeah, I mean, you would start to feel, I mean, if they win this one, you're almost feeling like they're there. top 8, because the games that they've got left, obviously that Real Madrid one really sticks out, but games that you just fancy them to pick up easily enough points to get. But I think what's being said is 15, 16 almost will guarantee you top 8. And if they win this one, they're not far away from that at all, with a lot of games in hand. So they've put themselves in a really commanding position, and with some good wins as well, because I think AC Milan away, that was really could have been tricky. I thought Bologna gave them a great test, and also Leipzig, that was your pot one opponent away from home. That was really tricky, and Liverpool made light work of that one really in the end, even though it ended close in scoreline. They battered them really, so they just looked really, really convincing. And again, that was one of the things about Arne Slot, is that maybe showed ahead of Ruben Amorim, who was maybe in contention for the Liverpool job, is that Slot had that European experience in the Conference League, taking Feyenoord to the final. He kind of showed he can operate in European competition, and again, I think he's already showing that with Liverpool, that he's kind of taken to it like a duck to water, hasn't he? And this kind of some of the more tactical elements of it, we know he's all over that. So he's doing really, really well, and to win this one as well, it would be put him in an incredibly strong position. And then again, you'd be looking forward to that Real Madrid game, thinking they can essentially put themselves through in the top 8 if they win that. And also there's other reasons to look forward to that, because it's an absolutely blockbuster fixture. But they've made a really, really good start, and if they win today, that you really would fancy them to progress in that top 8, I think.